Hey, No Brains, No Headache listeners. You can find every episode on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Episodes are available to watch on YouTube where you can subscribe, like, and comment on each episode. Make sure to follow No Brains, No Headache on your favorite social media platform for up to date news, clips, and poorly timed jokes. Now let's get into this week's episode.
No brains, no headache. That's the way I like it. Turn my worries into jokes. Set them on fire while we light it. No brains.
It's Brittany, bitch, and we are back for yet another episode of No Brains, No Headache, episode 296. Boy, are we excited for a time with you today. We want to say thank you for joining us. Name's Jordan Weichel, going to be your host today, as always. I'm joined by Matt Cleary. He's my co-host, confident, longtime friend, fellow comedian. I call him Ongo Goblogian. How are we doing today?
Ran into someone that I was complaining about us recording on Mondays, even though we're just going to keep doing it anyways. And they're like, that's the best time to record. It's like you have all the stories from the weekend. And it's like, okay, I get that point. But when I'm so hungover and feel like shit, it's the last thing I want to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's two sides to every coin, and then this is just a clear example. It's like, yes, we do have the fresh stories from the weekend, which we will get into. However, we're licking our wounds from the weekend as well.
You did mention coins, so I'll give you an update on my coin collecting. I did get quite a few of them, but I was so drunk on Friday night that I came home with a pile of quarters. And I was going through them, and a couple of them that I was keeping because they were state quarters weren't state quarters, and then a couple nickels somehow got in there. So, it's not going great. I got about 7 more though.
That is funny because the other day I saw it was like one of the specialty quarters. It's like, I don't know, some statue or something. It's not a state. It's just like a
looks fake.
landmark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those. And I was like, oh, Matt would love this. Am I going to go through the trouble of somehow getting this 25 cents across the country into Matt's possession? No, but it's the thought that counts.
Yeah, but trying to look at coins in a dark bar as you're trying to get ready to play pool, and I'm like, I think I got Nevada. Oh, it's
yeah, we need to get you one of those, the magnifying glasses with the flashlight feature as well.
Yeah, I'm using my phone flashlight on the bar as I'm like, it looks like I'm counting out to get like another beer. It's brutal, but yeah.
Yeah, you order a beer and the bartender starts taking your quarters away. You're like, whoa.
No, I knew the bartender. And I was like, I'm looking for all the state quarters. And so he just grabbed out a ton of quarters. He's like, go through those, see if there's any states in there. It was great. It wasn't really though.
Did you get any?
Yeah, I got like a bunch from there. I got Hawaii, and I was even saying like to the people I was talking to, I was like, Hawaii in North Dakota, like get out of town. And they're like, shut the hell up.
Hawaii.
It seems more interesting than it is because it's really not interesting at all. But I've been on a big laundry kick because I didn't do laundry for like a month, and I separated all my whites out, and there was like a pair of kahakis in there, and I didn't realize that I had 2 pens in the pocket, and they exploded and ruined all of my clothes.
First it's the furniture, now it's your clothing. You got nothing left.
Honestly, like it was a good purge, just taking out the whole laundry and just right into the garbage.
I'm surprised you're not one of those guys who buys like an industrial pack of t-shirts and then just throws them away as you wear them.
I did do that, but I was wearing them and then I realized I don't like the t-shirts, so I wore like 2 of them and then just threw them in the garbage. I'm anti-donating my clothes. They're my clothes. No one else gets to have them.
You should burn them.
I should. Like, there's times where I'm sweating so much, like golfing, that I want to come home and just burn my clothes with using like a boat oar in my driveway. It's like cramming them down in there.
You should have burned all your furniture too.
I did that. I mean, everyone's done that in college. Like So
the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, my freshman dorm, like I think it was Christmas break, my freshman year, my first half couch, uh, my buddy had one in our dorm room, and I puked on that and pissed on it.
Same night or different?
Same night. And then a week later, he threw up on the couch that I bought for $75 that reeked like cigarettes. And so we just took both of those down to the desert and just set them ablaze. It was great.
Yeah, I did that in college once. It was over like Spring Fest, which was the big time. And I remember like we partied all day and then it like got dark out and we were inside. It's actually a wheelchair kid joke. If you remember that joke of mine. I believe it was that night because like we're just inside now. We've transitioned from yard party to house party and 3 sheets to the wind. And I remember my brother and Denko Andy actually were like, dude, come out to the street. You got to check this out. I'm like, okay. And they took a lighter and they lit an empty beer case on fire. And they're like, oh, dude, they're all jacked up about it. It's like it's the coolest thing in the world. And then I'm like, you know what? Watch this. So I take an empty beer case as well. But I walk across the street to the neighbor's house who had a couch in their yard. And like I lit the cardboard on fire first and then like perfectly fed it into the couch. And this thing just blew like imagine a very mature like cottonwood tree, like right, like the branches and the leaves are like way up there. The flame was getting close to them at this point. Pretty dry conditions in springtime. Like as the snow's melting, not a whole lot of moisture. And I remember we went inside. We're like, dude, we were so proud of what we did because we're like, oh, this is hilarious. Everyone's gonna think this is funny. We go get our friends. We're like, dude, you guys are gonna love this. They come out and they're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And they ran inside and got fire extinguishers and like went and put it out. And then me and Denko Andy just went and hid in the basement for the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, granted,
like, dude, it was one of those blazes that was like I was not expecting the flame to be this big.
I mean, it never is. Like one time, Denko Andy, I put gasoline on his pants, and we were sitting by a fire, and I just set his pants on fire, and he was just running around like, "Guys, help!" and just no one helped him. But I mean, setting stuff on fire is great.
Yeah, who doesn't love just setting stuff on fire?
I mean, you get to the point where like you're sitting around a fire and you're burning things that you actually need. In college, you'd be like, here's this business law textbook, never going to use that again. Like, are you in that class right now? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember once we were out like kind of camping and somebody asked if they're like drunk and they're like, can I pass out in your car? I'm like, sure, I don't care. And they do. And then a little bit later, someone's like, yeah, they puked all over your sleeping bag. And I was like, great. So I went and grabbed that sleeping bag and just yeeted it on the fire. Oh. It is a sleeping bag. That thing ignited faster than I ever imagined. And then that just opened the floodgates to me just grabbing every lawn, because the next morning there was just like the metal frame for the lawn chair. The only thing that burned was just like the mesh chair part. And yeah, I was just taking anything and everything and just burning it.
Dude, we were doing that at a bachelor party, like all blackout drunk. And at one point, my buddy has these sandals that he's holding. And he just takes his like brand new sandals that his fiance bought him and just throws them into the fire. And then the next day, I like remember this vividly. I'm like, the next day, he's like, dude, where are my sandals at? And I was like,
you sacrificed it to the fire gods.
Or we threw like a lawn chair in them because we kept breaking lawn chairs, and we throw them in, and you can see that like the rod of the lawn chair is just red hot. And one of them's like, we should probably get that out of there, and just grabs it. But he was so drunk that he didn't like realize it, and he like grabbed it and started to pull it, and he's like, ah!
Just had 4th degree burns on his hands.
Yeah, and some guy got nerve damage because he stepped on a Leatherman's knife that someone just left open.
It sounds like a very just a rough weekend.
It was someone puked on themselves at 2 p.m.
That was
Plot
you.
twist. It was me.
How do you puke on yourself? You're just like mid-conversation, like, oh yeah, I can't wait for the Vikings.
It's kind of how it goes. You're just playing beer darts. We're like, that's a lot of foam. Bah!
Yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't even know. I forgot what I was gonna say. This is just classic podcasting.
I got home from the bar on Friday night and I was so hungry and I didn't really know what I was thinking, but I just made a bunch of noodles that I didn't have anything for. So I just ate plain noodles.
I was just thinking after we're done recording, I'm probably going to have a turkey sandwich. And by that, I mean turkey on bread. That's it.
Not even like a condiment?
I don't know how I feel about just mayo, turkey, and bread. I would almost opt just to not have that. I'd maybe do like a yellow mustard.
Yeah, see, like the single dude life is really tough because I got home from work today and instead of like making a full meal, I just, well, that's how I work up an appetite. But
yeah,
I literally just
starving.
I literally just pulled the rotisserie chicken out of the fridge and I was just picking pieces off of it and dunking it in barbecue sauce and eating it.
It just sounds. Now I'm getting hungry, dude. We shouldn't have talked. We shouldn't have went down.
We're not even talking about good food. We're talking about making a just turkey sandwich. You're like, man, I've never been more hungry in my entire life.
Let me throw this by you. Let's just keep talking about it. Tortilla, shredded cheese, microwave.
Oh, poor man.
What do you like more? Poor man's nachos or the poor man cheesy roll up?
I'm a nachos guy. I'm a texture guy, but
yeah,
that just brought something. I'm gonna do it this week. I keep seeing it come up, but Jeff Daniels has this like viral sandwich that he makes. You get like a pita bread, and it sounds disgusting. You get a pita bread. I'm already
not liking it.
You put on one half of it, you put creamy peanut butter, and then you take Ruffles sour cream and onion chips, the ones with the ridges, and you crunch some of those on top of it. And then you take your favorite barbecue sauce and put that on it.
What the fuck is this? Cooking with Jeff Daniels or what?
Yeah, he said it on like the Tonight Show, and I keep seeing people make it, and they're like, "This should not be good, but it's unbelievable." And now I really want to make it.
Dude, I have a pretty viral sandwich. You take a slice of bread and you put peanut butter on that side, and then you take another slice of bread and you put jelly on that side.
Is that from That's So Raven?
And then you combine them.
It's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I call it a jelly and peanut butter sandwich. A JPB, if you will.
So when I was in Haiti, they had this really good peanut butter that had like a little spice to it, and it was really like liquidy. And so I spent hours, and by hours I mean like 2 minutes, searching online, and I thought I found some authentic Haitian peanut butter. I spent like $62 on this, and someone straight up just put like Skippy into a normal peanut butter jar and gave it to me because it tastes exactly like Jif or Skippy taste. And I'm like, what idiot would fall for that? And I'm like, I might want to order a second one. I don't know, it was decent.
Dude, I'm probably actually gonna crush a jelly and peanut butter sandwich after this.
Yeah, but we're living in like time as a flat circle. I've done the exact same thing for, I don't know, 6 weeks in a row, like to the date. I'm doing every exact thing's the same.
So Monday, go to work, record the podcast.
Yep.
Crank. Tuesday, crank.
Tuesday, right around noon, I get a jolt of energy. I'm like, I'm gonna be so productive after work. And then after about a 3.5 hour nap after work, I'm like, it's already pretty late, so I should just tuck it in early for tonight. So Tuesday's gone. Wednesday, depending on if I have open mic or not, I'm usually eating wings downtown, having a couple beers. Thursday, usually licking my wounds a little bit, but then someone wants to do something after work. So from about 5 to 7, I go somewhere and drink just high noons. Um, and then Friday, I have this come to Jesus moment where on Thursday night I say, I'm not going to happy hour. And then I am absolutely 100% not singing karaoke after happy hour. And then flash forward 24 hours, I'm walking into the karaoke bars like, you guys want to sing some good Charlotte or what? I've done it. So I'm just on like a generational run of doing it. And then I go get my car from the same parking spot every Saturday morning, and I go to lunch Saturday at the same spot, and then I take a 3-hour nap, and then I go do something else, and then I fall asleep early on Saturday, and then I go have brunch with my family, and then it's
That's
rinse
the whole
repeat.
week.
Yeah, I'm living in Groundhog's Day.
How does that make you feel?
I don't know, not bad. I feel like everything's kind of just, I don't know.
You're a man of routine.
I am like, well, I'm like, so on Saturday, I texted one of my buddies and he's like, hey, I'm at the local watering hole, or I'm heading there. So I said, cool. And 15 minutes later, I show up at the front steps of that place and he's walking out. And I was like, are you leaving? He's like, I didn't know you were coming. And I was like, I texted you cool 14 minutes ago and then showed up and you're like, I don't know.
So
then I went and
did he
got,
leave?
yeah. And so I just went and got 5 guys. And
Jesus, you must hate yourself.
yeah, 5 guys is, I'm going to say, borderline average of fast food burgers. It was like $29 for like.
I was about to say, I think it's delicious, but like the price just really like puts a bad taste in your mouth.
And then they have like those matrix machines for soda where I'm like putting like, oh, you can put like cherry in like whatever you get. And then I just kept like filling up an entire pop, trying it, not liking, and dumping the entire thing out, and did that like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, the touchscreen choice. Yeah. Why'd you fill it all? You could have just done a little sample, just like fill it up a little bit and try it.
Every time I did it, I said, there's no way I don't like this. Like I did ginger ale with a little bit of cherry in it.
With a little bit of Jameson in it.
Yeah. And just popped a bottle and there's this
you should be that guy who just mixes up just cocktails at the fast food restaurant using the fountain soda pop.
Just bring it back to the day when you're under 21 in B-dubs and you'd order a Coke and you're just dumping a flask into the Coke under the table. There's this comedian that he goes like, oh, I'm packing my daughter's lunch for today. And there's this one guy that does it where it's he like gives these high-end shit for his daughter to go to school.
Yeah, like super sophisticated meals.
Yeah. This one, he's like, I gave pita bread with some soy sauce packets, a whole red onion, 23 melatonin gummies, a vacuum cleaner manual, and a Wendy's cup full of ice filled to the top with Tito's.
Yeah, some of those that they pack are like super elaborate.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah. And then like you flash back to like my parents packing me lunch. Like I just ate hot lunch every day because like if I didn't, it was like, all right, you get an old bagel with expired ham on it, some carrots with no dressing.
I feel like I wasn't afraid to pack my own lunch. There was one lunch in particular, and if you just want to talk about our elementary school lunch menu for a while, I'm on board.
Unbelievable.
Good stuff.
If it wasn't weird, I would go there every day for lunch. Just eat it.
I don't think they allow that anymore at all. But,
yeah, it's
one that was bad, and maybe I think it's better now in my grown age, but just as a child, chef salad was the last goddamn thing I wanted for lunch. I'm starving, and it's like, oh, cool, I get lettuce with cold meat and sunflower seeds on it. great.
I think the egg rolls were okay, but like whatever they had, they would just call it Oriental Day, and it would literally be like whatever Asian food they had in the freezer that was just, and it was always not good. So like I would just eat white rice with soy sauce on it and have an egg roll. I'm like, well, that's my lunch.
Yeah. That's what it was. It was literally like, because we had the trays with all the spots, the little compartments on the tray. And yeah, I remember one was the egg roll. Another one was, just terrible white rice that you just doused. One of them was they took up a whole space for the fortune cookie, Matthew.
Yeah.
That's just un-American.
And then it was like mixed vegetables, and I'm like, I cannot name one of these vegetables on here.
Were they the mini corns?
Yeah, like the mini corn that were like different shades, or like, why is this one white?
What is the mini corn? What is that? I gotta look that up.
It was gross.
Is mini corn? Mini corn called young corn, cornlets, or candle corn? More like hardcore corn, right?
Yeah, I feel like young corn is dangerously close to a Freudian slip that someone probably would have.
Yeah, they're just the little guys. They're not. Wait, so they're actually made like that? I thought it was like some sort of mold that they were just shoving like chickpeas in or something.
Dude, I don't know why we got away from trays. Like, I feel like what trays would be like perfect for Thanksgiving dinner. Why don't we use trays?
I mean, I'm on board there.
Why we ever went away from trays in the first place is beyond me. Like, it was all your food was separated, easier to clean.
I was just about to say I should have like a date over and be like, oh yeah, I'll love to cook for you, and they're like all romantic. And then I gotta make like a super just exquisite meal. Like I gotta practice this a few times and just have it dialed in and just slave away in the kitchen. Like, all right, it's time to dish up, and I just have a stack of trays there. Does that
help or hurt? I'm thinking about getting rid of all of my plates and just going full tray.
Dude, well, speaking of living that single bachelor life, I have a plate set, and it's like 4 big plates, 4 small plates, 4 bowls, and 4 coffee mugs. Tell you what, I don't do my dishes often. I don't have anything to eat off of. Last week, I was just eating stuff off my cutting board. I was just using a cutting board as a plate.
Here's how I knew I had to do dishes last week. I ate off of a paper plate, and it was sitting on the counter, and then I was eating something else, and I reused a paper plate.
I made some chicky nugs and some fries in my air fryer the other day, and then I just brought the basket from the air fryer over to the couch with me.
Done it.
And I just ate straight from the air fryer basket.
I've sat the air fryer full of dino nugs on the counter and then had like a napkin that had ketchup on it, and I was just pulling out of the air fryer and dunking in ketchup, and that's what I did.
Yeah,
but I was trying to think of other school lunches that were bad. I didn't like the pizza all that much.
The pizza really was so average.
Yeah,
like the flavor wasn't great, but
pizza.
Yeah, the flavor wasn't great, and it was the big hunkin' rectangle slices. But it also was like, I think it was just hearty. Like it was a big piece. So I think that helped, but ultimately that was bad pizza.
One of my favorite things we got, and I've never seen them since then, were those slush triangles.
Yeah, the frozen ones.
Yeah. Those were so good.
Yeah, where does a guy find them?
I don't know. Or like, I'm a big fan of, maybe I would drink milk if I just had individual milks.
Yeah. You should.
I probably wouldn't though.
Why did the little ice creams with the wooden spoon, why did those taste so good?
Probably because the other food we were eating was objectively poison.
Dude, sub sandwich day, Slapped. That's when, as a young man, I discovered ranch dressing.
Oh. Okay, sub sandwich. I'll still get a hankering where I'll go buy like turkey, bread, cheese, and then I'll just go get Fritos and I'll slap corn chips right on the sandwich, and I'll have Vietnam flashbacks of the 3rd grade.
Yeah, the sub sandwich, you sit down, you take the top off, right? That gives you some access. You gotta line perfectly your Fritos chips.
Yeah.
You know, you don't wanna waste any surface area there, and then you douse it with ranch dressing, and you go to town. What
Yeah.
about spaghetti day? Sketty was pretty good.
The spaghetti was good. I loved the garlic bread, like the mass made garlic bread that we'd get.
Yeah,
where
where
was
it
a
was like
goo-
the edge was hard
hard.
as a rock, but the middle was soft.
I would eat the middle and then I'd use the edge to scoop spaghetti up
Mhm.
with.
Yeah, and that's just being resourceful right
And then
there.
when you had a couple leftover noodles, you just throw them up and have them stick to the ceiling.
Dude, the last time I checked, it's probably been like 7 years since I stepped foot in that cafeteria. 7 years ago, I went down there and I looked, and those noodles that I threw on the ceiling were still there.
They're like load-bearing noodles at this point. Like, they can't get rid of them.
Like, the noodles are more tenured than the teachers.
Fair's fair.
Yeah.
Well, after 26 minutes, we can get into the actual episode. Housekeeping's over.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's party.
Last week I watched the movie Catch Me If You Can.
Fantastic film. First of all.
Unbelievable movie. And then I actually went on YouTube and I listened to the real guy talk about it.
I thought you were going to say it. And then I started forging checks.
Yeah. And then I overdrafted on my bank account, and let's just say the IRS is knocking at my door. And then I watched the guy on YouTube, and like he would say the stories were like very similar. Like he's like, I flew over 1 million miles before I was 20 years old. And then I went on this other deep dive where a guy debunks everything he says. And turns out none of anything that happened on Catch Me If You Can was based on a true story like they said it was.
Yeah, I think the whole like cat and mouse game with Tom Hanks' character, I feel like that was definitely blown out. I think like the actual like the checks and like the money and the fraud stuff, I think that was like all pretty accurate, or like at least he did that. But as far as his escapades with all like the different women and all these relationships, I don't know about that.
Yeah, like there was some like so he was like over in like Sweden and stuff and did get thrown in like a French jail, but it was for like defrauding places over there, like just like writing overdraft checks and stuff like that in Europe. But he said that he was like a pilot, passed the bar exam, and worked for like the Attorney General of Louisiana, and
Yep.
then portrayed a doctor in a hospital, all before he was 21 years old. But then this guy actually went up and looked up juvenile records from that day, and he was actually in jail from the age of 16 to 21. So none of that stuff happened. And then very little time he was out of jail, he went and got like a pilot's uniform, and he would portray himself as a pilot to get other jobs that weren't like pilot related. Like he worked as a teacher's assistant in a preschool, but he showed up dressed like a pilot to get the job.
That just seems like overkill for a TA position for a bunch of 5-year-olds.
Yeah, and then he apparently like forged a bunch of checks and took like a bunch of the teachers to the Bahamas for one weekend. And then they got back into the US because he made them leave early because he knew that like heat was coming down on him. And then they got to the airport and he stole the school's minivan and just drove away with it.
Well, yeah, I think because I've listened to his audiobook, which like is a little bit different, obviously. So yeah, I know he did like a bunch of like other stuff, but yeah, I mean that obviously that's gonna happen. Did he end up even working for the FBI and like helping them?
No, none of that's true.
That was just a
No.
lie then.
Yeah, like absolutely.
That
They
was
said
just a
like
nice ending scene.
99% of the movie and his book is fake.
Terrific.
Yeah, and it was kind of a real deal breaker, but like I listened
Are we
to
surprised though? Isn't his whole life fake?
Yeah, I mean, he portrayed it as like he had to go to a courtroom when he was like 14 and choose between his parents, and it's like no, he lived with his dad till he was like 16 and got arrested in New York.
As his mom was just plowing everybody
yeah.
else.
His mom was just getting freaking her doors blown off by like a.
Who's worse, his mom, Frank Abagnale's mom, portrayed in the movie Catch Me If You Can, or you know where this is headed, Mrs. Gump?
I'm not entirely sure that they aren't one and the same person.
I'm gonna go with Frank Abagnale's mom because it sounds like what were they? What was that guy part of? Like some club?
Yeah, like
something?
part of like the Lions Club, and it's like,
Yeah.
turns out you didn't really need to bang him; they let anyone in.
Yeah, she's just banging like all these different ones. Because that one day, what like in the movie anyway, they portray it, and he comes home, and they just come rushing out of the bedroom, and it's
Yeah.
just like
His shirt's on backwards, just like,
yeah,
oh,
his balls are just hanging out of his pants. It's like,
oh, his mom's like,
you forgot to put your balls away. It's like, oh, my bad. Your mom really cares about your education.
he just has one ball sticking out of the zipper. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I like to do like I told you the game I like to do where you take like one person's character that's portrayed by the same person, and then you have to somehow link them into the same timeline.
I don't know. That would be a tough one for Mrs. Gump.
She just doesn't age, moves to Alabama and witness protection, which would actually kind of make sense.
She died of cancer.
His mom did in Catch Me If You Can.
No, Mrs. Gump.
Yeah, well, Catch Me If You Can was before Forrest Gump, so that would lead into it.
Was it? I don't know if we're trying to like match up the same timelines.
I think it's like it's like pretty close. I think it's like 1955 to like, I think it's right around there.
I don't know, Matt. I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't think it's.
Well, I was thinking
like Mrs. Gump is like so unique. You can't like tie her into like a different story.
Yeah.
And she really cares about Forrest's education.
We've established
priority.
We've established that. Forrest, go sit out on the swing on the step.
Hey, Forrest, you dumbass. I know you're nonverbal, but I'm about to plow this principal so we can send your ass to school. Go sit on the porch so you can just hear us from outside in these single pane windows.
Another one I was thinking of is, let's say Sam from Lord of the Rings doesn't age at all.
Which one's Sam from Lord of the Rings? I guess I could look it up.
So Frodo and Sam. Sam's the fat one that accompanies him the whole time.
Oh, Rudy?
Yeah. And so I was saying, what if he doesn't age and then he gets bored with life and he's like, you know what? I'm going to try out for Notre Dame's football team.
What world are they in Lord of the Rings? An alternate universe?
Yeah, it's like Middle Earth, which is, I'm assuming,
dude, the Two Towers war battle scene, one of the best out there.
Oh, when Legolas slides on a shield down a flight of stairs,
and then he like kicks it off, and it definitely kills somebody, and he just goes for. I mean, but what a scary situation that you have to be in, where it's like, all right, anybody who is a male and ages 3 and older, grab a sword and get your ass out there.
Oh, they're putting the giant helmet on like the little kid, and he's like 6. It's like, okay.
I think it's, if anything, that's hurting, not helping.
I love when they're counting, Gimli and Legolas are counting how many they've killed. And Gimli's like, that's 4 for me. And Legolas is like, I'm on 39. He's like, what?
Sean Astin.
Yeah.
That guy has, like, I'm just looking at his picture that Google gave me, and he has fluctuated in weight. Let's say that. Who's
Yeah,
this
he's
Kate Blanchett chick? What's up? What's up, Liv Tyler? One of the... Oh, never mind. What a cast.
You talking Rudy?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. I was like, Kate Blanchett was not in Rudy.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been listening to this podcast where they're counting down their top 50 best movies of the 21st century, and all three Lord of the Rings made it into the top 20, and I'm like, as they should be, because they're all three unbelievable.
Yeah, I used to only watch the Twin Towers. Which one? What's it called?
The two towers. The Twin Towers were the buildings that got hit by airplanes.
Oh, yes. Don't want to mix those up. Anyway, Lord of the Rings, the Twin Towers, Ground Zero. It's it's a sequel. But I used to just watch that, like, and I would leg it out just to watch that battle scene at the end. But then I actually did sit down and like watch the Lord of the Rings through and like actually like paid attention to the storyline. Like, I still don't understand Harry Potter.
I don't either.
I just watch
tried
it because it's visually appealing.
I tried to do I was like, all right, every Sunday I'm gonna watch each Harry Potter movie in order. And then I got to the third one, I think, where people are turning into animals, and I'm like, I'm out. I don't know.
You ever like been really motivated to crush a movie series and you're like set out to do it one day, just like clear a Saturday or Sunday, and then you watch like 45 minutes of the first of 7 movies and you're just not into it?
I watched when I got home from the bar and made plain noodles, I watched the first Transformers movie in its entirety until like 4 a.m.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was not great. But I just realized that they filmed Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and then in between editing it and releasing it, 9/11 happened.
It's a tough break, right there.
Yeah. Do we change the name of the movie?
They're like, whoa. Yeah, I remember one time when my girlfriend at the time and I, we came across this like huge DVD collection that like her family had that was just like put away. And like those are always fun because like you kind of just forget about some of these movies and just like see it. And we each picked like 2 movies, and like we were just gonna have like a movie marathon and watch all these movies. And I'm like, yeah, I was, the good boyfriend. I was like, yeah, we can watch your movie first. Literally 15 minutes into it, I am just snoring. And that's the only one we watched out of the 4.
I started chuckling because I looked at the rundown and saw your next talking point.
Do we want to get into it?
Yeah, we can.
All right. I used the diarrhea excuse to perfect execution recently, and I was really proud of it. And you know what I learned when using the diarrhea excuse? Not only is it just a great excuse, but there's really not much pushback or follow-up.
No, they're not going to be like,
if you're like, oh, hey, I have a cold. You should just take the person's word for it and be like, cool. But the common question is like, what are your symptoms? It's like, go and fuck and yourself. Those are my symptoms.
With diarrhea, they're not going to be like, send me a picture of the diarrhea.
Well, then it's just like, if you say diarrhea, they're like, well, how bad is it? And it's just like, okay, I want you to take a sock, a tube sock, and I want you to take a water bottle and then pour water into the tube sock and see how much stays in there. Or
no one's going to be like, what type of diarrhea was it? I did find
the explosive kind, of course.
If you ever work on anything computer wise or in the technology game, I found out that this is like the technology or the diarrhea version for technology.
Yeah.
Every time I mess up, I just say, "Oh, there was a merge error." And everyone's just like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Here's the corrected version." 100% I just forgot to do it.
A merge error?
Yeah, no one questions it. I don't know what
the fuck
it means.
does that even mean?
I don't know. No one questions it.
She's like, "Oh, our Wi-Fi went out again."
Yeah, there was a merge error putting the documents together. Here's the corrected version of it. No one questions anything.
That's good to know. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah, there's just no pushback whatsoever. It's like, oh, I can't make it to this. Why not? Diarrhea. And you're like, that's honestly how it went, the other day when I pulled it up. Mainly, I just was like, okay, like I just want to be done with this conversation as soon as possible. So
I'm not feeling. Oh, what's wrong? Diarrhea.
I literally said that. I said diarrhea, and they're like, "Oh, okie dokie." I was like, "Cool, is this phone call over now?"
Is it a lot of diarrhea?
Just the most diarrhea. Like, I want you to picture a lot of diarrhea and then think of even more.
I want you to picture an unfathomable amount of diarrhea and then double it.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I suggest everybody to use it for whatever they're trying to get out of. It works flawlessly. I executed it to perfection.
I mean, this is actually a great segue from diarrhea into Niagara Falls. So I did an edible the other day, and I spent about 2.5 hours trying to figure out where all the water from Niagara Falls goes.
Did you ever figure it out?
Well, little backstory here for you. I found out that there was 750,000 gallons per second that goes over the falls. So I was
like,
where
shitload.
That's so much. Like, imagine 10 gallons of water falling on you at one time. Now, like, times that by a lot. And
nailed it.
So I was trying to figure out where it goes. So I was like following where it went, and I was like, how is this going into Lake Erie? And then I found out that it flows the other direction and just immediately goes out into the ocean after going into Lake Ontario.
Niagara Falls, huh?
And then I found out that there's actually 3 falls at Niagara Falls, and the best one, the Horseshoe Fall, is on Canada's side.
Yeah.
Looking at the Canadian border and what the US did like around the Great Lakes, New York area, none of it makes any sense. Like, there's so many different parts of Canada that are like more south than parts of the US. Like, I don't know why we had to take that weird ass route.
I guess I didn't realize how north Buffalo is. I never really knew that.
I didn't realize that Buffalo is like right on the Canadian border too.
Oh yeah, dude. It is right there. It's pretty much neighbors with Toronto.
Yeah.
They also have a place called Cheektowaga, or also known as Cheektown.
I mean, that's it. Like, there's an island.
Crack.
I think it's called
Buffalo does not look very big at all.
No, it's not. It's like one of the smaller, I think it's a huge metro area, but like the town of Buffalo, not as big as you think.
It's like Buffalo and then like Niagara Falls, and then you kind of go into, then you get into Canada, then you have Toronto and Hamilton.
Yeah, the Hamilton Tiger Cats
is that what that is?
The CFL, yep.
Wait, so the CFL has the Toronto Argonauts, and then just down the street they have the Hamilton Tiger Cats?
I mean, it's slim pickings for cities in Canada.
Remember when they made that one team change their name from the Eskimos to the Elks? Doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
Yeah. And the team just sucks. Also, we had Brady Oliveira on the podcast, and the next season he won the MVP of the entire league.
You're welcome. We did that.
Where would Brady have been if you never got on No Brains, No Headache? Also, he showed up 45 minutes late to the interview, so that was sweet.
He was out rescuing dogs and
no, he was swimming in the ocean in Mexico.
Whatever. That was a good interview.
Yeah, it was. And then he won the MVP. So you're welcome, Brady.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
What are we talking about? Oh, I was like full of all this motivation where I'm like, okay, for 90 days, I'm going to like do this or that. And I still want to do it, but I immediately came to my first roadblock because next week I'm going to be gone for work for like 5 days. I was like, okay, I can't really like stay true to like my 90 because I was just going to like, okay, I'm going to like work extra hard on the podcast and work out and like do all this stuff for 90 days. I still want to do it, but it's like one of those things where my timing was like, okay, but literally in a week from now, I will be gone for an entire week. So I just can't do it. Does that ever happen to you where you try to like start something new and then immediately it's like you go on vacation or you get sick or something?
Yeah, it happens every time where I'm like, I'm not drinking this week. And then it'll be like, oh, some clients came in from out of town. We're going out to happy hour and dinner. And I was like, well, if someone else is paying, I guess I can just.
I always say that I'm going to take it easy and not drink. And then I go to work and I'm like, I need a drink.
Dude, that was a text I sent someone this morning at 9:11, ironically. And I said, I wanted to take a week off of drinking, but 4 minutes into work today and I need a beer.
Yeah, the other day at work, I had a coworker. It was 9:30 in the morning, and the first thing they said to me, they're like, "Beers at 5?" And I'm like, "It's 9:30 in the morning, but yes."
Honestly, sometimes you just need that to have something to look forward to. Like I was looking forward to eating rotisserie chicken when I got home, and it was quite literally the only thing that was keeping me going throughout the day.
I didn't have anything to look forward to.
Dry turkey sandwich.
Well, we got about like 13 more minutes of this podcast, and then I'm going to eat a plain turkey sandwich and then a jelly and peanut butter sandwich.
I don't like how you're trying to switch the narrative and calling it a jelly and peanut butter sandwich.
I just came up with it the other day.
Ironically, though, it probably should be that way because usually it goes in alphabetical order, so it should be jelly and peanut butter.
Butter, jelly, peanut.
That's like when I tried to change hot dogs into dog hots.
Yeah, I've seen those actually. You did come up with it. Because haven't you seen that where they have like a giant wiener and then they slice it open and they put bread in the middle? Have you seen that? I'm talking to a goddamn wall here.
I was just looking up the difference between jelly and jam joke.
Might as well say it. What is it? What's the difference between jelly and jam?
I can't jelly my dick into your ass. Needs to be said to a female, but
I remember what I was going to say earlier when we were talking about
how in the world did that lead to you?
Wait, okay, this is an old joke. Shut up, Matt. Let me talk. This is an old joke, and the fact that you still laughed at it now, like some things are just always funny, and that's like when we were talking about depantsing, gets me every time. Farting gets me every time. I actually got a bunch of compliments on that depantsing clip because people are starting to realize it is in fact depantsing, and I think we're on the verge of having people starting to put pants on people as a prank. But anyway, when we were talking about bachelor parties and throwing shit in the fire, isn't it always funny when a chair collapses?
Yeah, when a chair breaks.
Like when somebody sits down and it's just Boom.
Dude, I had this old coworker who was humongous, and we had these cup chairs, and he was sitting in one, and we were in like a long meeting, and we're like, hey, we're gonna take a 15-minute break, and he like gets out of his chair and he goes, hey Matt, you mind switching chairs with me? I think if I sit back in that one, I'm gonna need a shoehorn to get out of it.
Yeah, that's what reminded me. Chairs breaking is always hilarious.
I had this joke where, so when I worked at a golf course, we would always try to be like, we'd get bored, so we would say, hey, you got to slip this word into your conversation. So it'd be like, you have to say banana on the phone somehow. And so like I'd be like, they would schedule a tea time and be like, bring a lot of bananas, you need the potassium with the weather out there, just like. And it kept getting more and more over the top with like the expressions we'd have to say. And it finally ended when someone had to say, thanks for calling Tom O'Leary Golf Course. Tongue fuck my asshole.
Good old TFMA.
Yeah, oh God.
Just like the Blink-182 song. Tongue fuck my asshole.
Take off your pants and jacket.
Yeah, so you went from banana into your conversation to tongue fuck my asshole.
It like there was a lot of progression. Like you'd have to sneak the word fuck into it and be like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fucks out on a lot of ducks out on the course today. Or trying to sneak like alligator into a casual conversation about setting up a tea time. Nearly impossible. You'd have to just make up sayings. You'd be like, well, as the alligator says, get brushing your teeth. We'll see you at 3:00. Hang up.
I could see how it could be entertaining and probably
it was so
really
fun.
Organic humor.
Or a lot of times you wouldn't know what it is until like you'd answer the phone and then someone would slide you a piece of paper and you're like, oh God damn
it. Slap me in the face and call me a kangaroo.
Yeah. Well, hate us because they ain't us. We'll see you at 4.
Would you ever just throw it in the end?
That's what you have to do at the end when you're just like, well, and then a lot of times like people wouldn't trust that you were going to do it. So you had to talk on speakerphone the whole time to make sure the other person was still on the phone.
All right, we'll see you here for your tea time at 3:15. Cocksucker. No, I didn't call you cocksucker. Called you jive turkey.
All right, it's like you have to say but you have to do a over 5-second pause of just saying and it would always be like, do you have a 3:00 tea time? And I would just go
No wonder why there was that rumor going around that everybody who works at that golf course is retarded.
Wasn't fun. You know, it's so funny because like everyone I worked with, like I worked there so long that one guy I worked with literally left and became a doctor and then was back and I was still working there. And my boss at the time was just going through everyone. He's like, oh yeah, Mark's a doctor, other Mark's a doctor, Derek's a dentist. And then they'll get to me and I'd be like, ah.
You're just like, tongue fuck my asshole.
One time I was like 19 and I was working Saturday and I'd work with my boy Steve and he was like this 70-year-old former alcoholic, just the greatest guy ever. And he was like, and I would just be crippling hungover and everyone could tell that I was hungover and I was working behind him. Like all the regulars would come in and one of the regulars was like, are you even 21 yet? And Steve sitting across the room just reading the paper just goes, ha! When he turns 21, he's gonna fucking quit drinking.
Nothing like being hungover at work on a Saturday.
Or if you
You
were
should have just said you had diarrhea and you wouldn't have to be there.
You would 100% still have to be there because you just go have diarrhea and then come back and keep working.
Why can't you come in today? I got diarrhea. Well, you could have diarrhea here. See you in 10.
That was the worst when I don't know if you ever ran into this working at the hockey rink, but like when nature calls and you're like, I have a ZAM in 5 minutes and I have uncontrollable diarrhea.
One thing I liked about working at the hockey rink is like you had your choice of bathrooms.
Oh,
like because there's like 8 or 10 locker rooms throughout that whole thing. Plus, like that's what I always loved. It's just like, oh, this locker room's empty. Speaking of no one's looking, I just blow up the bathroom. I come out and there's just like a bunch of figure skaters. I'm like, oh, hey.
I used to put a bathroom.
Some of that shit was in there before I got it.
I used to just put a bathroom closed sign on a bathroom that I wanted to use during my shift.
Yeah, locker room 7's actually unavailable today, so you guys are just gonna have to get dressed in the atrium.
It wouldn't stop people from just using it anyways.
At my hockey rink, we had like a conference room with just a gigantic TV that had certain channels, which was sweet. And that's where I would always go. I would get a Firehouse subs. I would get an Italian. This thing literally it was probably 2,300 calories for this sandwich alone.
Oh,
but it was delicious. And so yeah, I would go up to the conference room when I'm not like I'm supposed to be like monitoring the entire hockey rink, and I'm just not. Usually I had like another coworker there, but like I'm just basically hiding in this conference room. And yeah, I was just eating food one time and like watching baseball or whatever, and somebody opens the door and it was like the biggest deer in the headlights situation. They were chill with it. Another time I just took a nap on the floor up there.
I told you about the time that we had this conference room that has a couch in it, and I opened the rink at 5 a.m., promptly fell asleep for like 3.5 hours on this couch. And I woke up to hockey parents having a full-blown meeting in the room, and they didn't see me sleeping on the couch. And so I just had to be like, okay, how do I get out of this? And I literally just like I literally got up and I'm like, oh, there's my contact, and just walked out the side door.
Here's my contact. Yeah. What if they're just talking shit about you?
Oh, probably were. It's like the rink attendant here reeks like booze.
God, is he dumb and ugly? And you're just over in the corner, just.
That reminds me. So this week, I heard one of my buddies calls me in the middle of the day, and he never calls me during the middle of the workday. And he's like, "This was too long to text. I need to tell you this story." So he works at this organization, and they were having like their administrative professionals day. So they were having a nacho bar at lunch, and one of the guys who was just bad at his job was like kind of on a performance plan, like might be getting fired, but waited until lunch, ate 3 helpings of the nacho bar, and then quit and left.
That's hard to do.
It's unbelievable. I was like, you have the wherewithal to be like, well, I'm going to sit here for 4 hours, eat nachos, and then quit my job.
I mean, especially, at work, the lunch choice is really delicate. Like, because I sometimes make the mistake of having Panda Express. And then I just Panda Express out my asshole.
Or I can't eat a big lunch or I'm going to be tired.
But with Panda, I have to get, I believe, is it the plate? Where you get one side or two thingies and then a side? Whichever one that is at Panda Express. I have to get that one. The other one, it's just not enough food, and that's too much. I'd rather just go too much. I think it's the rice.
I always get I love the noodles, like the lo mein noodles.
Maybe I need to get the noodles. I won't be so bloated.
My neck hurts. All right, let's run through a couple text messages and then we can get out of here.
I don't even know. I feel like we had like a good stretch there, and that's when I was like, "Oh, we should talk about this." And now I can't find it.
On what's for sale on Facebook, someone posted moving and need couch gone, $100. And I am not kidding you. This couch looks like it was taken from war-torn Afghanistan.
Oh, here we go.
And I don't know if you saw it, but there's a pizza maker sitting on the couch in the photo, as well as a cat.
Let me see. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, they just have a pizzazz on their couch.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, this thing looks like it looks like it went to battle in Lord of the Rings.
Or someone posted, I genuinely need someone without a job who is willing to start working tomorrow. And someone commented, says, you're going to get 200 people in line by morning with that detailed job description.
Yeah. I genuinely need someone without a job who is willing to start working tomorrow. What? Anonymous. At one point we were talking about baseball players and like who the Cubs should bring up. Pretty hot the Cubs are hot, by the way. A little bit of a skid, but 10 in a row. That was awesome. And yeah, you're like, oh, this person should come up and there'll be a total spark plug. And then I said total butt plug. And then you said delete my contact information.
Well, yeah, that's fair. There's a lot of like crazy people, like lady that tried to stab one person and then in court said, I'll do it again. And her picture of her kind of looks like Bobby Boucher's dad in The Waterboy.
Oh, what about the person who decided to suggest a trek in North Dakota?
Oh, Mike.
I've launched a GoFundMe campaign to bring a dedicated track to North Dakota where we can all enjoy laying down rubber together. Are you as passionate about making this vision a reality as I am? For years, I've heard our community express the need for a proper track. Now's our chance to be part of the North Dakota history.
I'm not downplaying this with the amount of stuff they have on here. This is like a $50 million plus project.
Way more than that.
Yeah, with the amount of like ground and earth moving you'd have to do. And they have like
this isn't just like a circle racetrack. It's like I don't even know how to describe it, but there's all sorts of turns and zigzags and things like that.
And then there's like a dedicated burnout spot and also like a ton of grandstands, like 500 person grandstand, another 500 person grandstand, another one, 1,000.
Who's gonna go watch this?
Not more than 6 people.
Yeah, they have spots for 2,500 people. But also, if you look, man, I don't think their scale is very great.
Oh,
they're like 500 seat grandstand right here. It's just this little square next to the road.
And then they also have it conveniently perched up against a waterfront. I'm like, this property doesn't exist in the state of North Dakota.
I'm still confused. Are we like are people just racing here? Like their vehicles?
It's like, no, it's like bikes, I think.
You just like pull up in your Geo Metro. You're like, all right.
I would be on board with that if it was like, all right, you can race your car.
But Matt, it says hashtag cars is the first hashtag.
You know what? Called my bluff.
If it was bikes, that'd be even gayer somehow. Yeah.
I also don't get why, like, there's no park. I guess there's 2 parking spots, but logistically, I don't know how this works.
This isn't gonna happen. You're dumb.
Also, having an elevation drop towards the water is just asking someone to drive their car directly into the water.
Oh, you got that right. That's all I got, Matt.
Yeah, we can get out of here. Make sure to follow us on social media. No Brains, No Headache. You can also leave us a review on Apple or rating on Spotify. Make sure to follow us on YouTube. We just hit 500 followers, so look out, Mr. Beast. Anything else?
Next up episode, whatever.
Okay.